A major Paige/Sheldon cliffhanger question was not answered by young Sheldon. Hello everyone, my name is Alana. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like. Up. Caution: there will be Young Sheldon Season 6 spoilers. The 6th season of Young Sheldon raises a significant question regarding Paige and Sheldon that the program must address going forward. Sheldon and his fellow child prodigy were reunited for a night of college party hopping in the Big Bang Theory prequel. This was Paige's first time back in Young Sheldon since the 100th episode. However, the problematic child is in worse shape rather than receiving the assistance she needs. She is left aimless after quitting school and acts out by voluntarily putting herself in danger. Given how much promise Paige had when she was initially introduced, the way CBS has been developing her storyline is devastating. Paige serves as a warning, illustrating the potential darkness of TBD in the event that Sheldon had not met Leonard and the other members of the Pasadena gang. However, young Sheldon has considerable creative freedom in how she developed her plot going forward because Paige wasn't referenced in the Big Bang Theory. Associated with after Paige's return, young Sheldon has no justification for failing Missy. When the attention turns to Mandy giving delivery, young Sheldon didn't have time to depict what happened after Paige's partying night. Instead of focusing on the immediate consequences of her actions, the Big Bang Theory prequel skipped ahead in time. For background, Missy and her twin ended up taking Paige back to Sheldon's dorm room after she helped her troubled friend make sense of things. Paige spent the night in the boy genius's school accommodations after passing out from intoxication, though he did complain a little. Young Sheldon really broke TBT's chronology as a result of adult Sheldon's remark, which also confirmed that he still has some regrets over that evening. It is interesting to know how Sheldon and Paige interacted in the morning following the Young Sheldon Season 6 episode, a frat party, a sleepover, and the mother of all blisters, given Sheldon's concerns about having to host Paige in his bedroom overnight. Sheldon might have had to spend the night somewhere else because Paige took up the room. Otherwise, it would have been possible for Paige to sneak out without saying goodbye after waking up in the middle of the night. In any case, it remains a riddle that young Sheldon must yet resolve in the future. When they reunited in Young Sheldon Season 6, Sheldon wasn't exactly pleased to see Paige attending every college party in the East Texas Tech area. The Big Bang Theory prequel series showcased his compassion by following her about despite this. The boy genius wasn't ready to abandon her either, especially when it was obvious that she was attempting to get herself into trouble. It is likely that he was fully aware that he wouldn't allow Missy to spend the night alone without any company, even though he tried to argue with her for wanting to leave. Young Sheldon explores Sheldon's mental state during the entire Paige incident. Their relationship in the prequel alters various parts of the nerd-centric sitcom, particularly how his romance with Amy in the Big Bang Theory is understood, even if his fellow child prodigy did not appear or be mentioned in the show. To begin with, Sheldon refused to let Amy sleep on his bed immediately after admitting his love for her, but for some reason, he let Paige stay the night in his dorm room. Paige is now a crucial character in young Sheldon's narratives. Her most recent appearance, however, lacks a clear conclusion in contrast to her earlier ones. What happened to her after Missy abandoned her in Sheldon's room is unknown. Since it implies that she must return, CBS may have purposefully left her fate up in the air. She might even be reintroduced into the family sitcom through this narrative opportunity. Regardless of the cause, it's very likely that she will continue to appear in Young Sheldon. However, it is hoped that she would be in far better form than when she previously made an appearance. For years, Young Sheldon has captivated audiences with its heartwarming story of a young Sheldon Cooper growing up in Texas. The show has gone through countless character developments, emotional arcs, and, of course, laugh-out-loud moments. But in a shocking turn of events, the show recently dropped the ball on one of its most anticipated storylines, the cliffhanger involving Sheldon and Paige, the young genius who stole Sheldon's heart. Fans were left on the edge of their seats after the explosive season finale, where it seemed like young Sheldon was about to deliver a major plot resolution regarding Sheldon's complicated relationship with Paige. And yet, in one of the most disappointing and puzzling decisions in recent memory, the show completely failed to address the big question fans had been asking for seasons. First introduced as a fellow prodigy in Season 3 of Young Sheldon, Paige became a significant character in Sheldon's life. As another child genius, she was a mirror to Sheldon's intellectual prowess, yet their personalities were vastly different. While Sheldon was socially awkward and fiercely independent, Paige was a bit more socially aware and charismatic, often making Sheldon's interactions with her even more interesting. The chemistry between the two was undeniable, and fans quickly shipped the duo, hoping to see what would come of their relationship as the show progressed. What made Paige so special wasn't just her intellect, but her unique way of challenging Sheldon, something no one else in his life had ever done in quite the same way. Their interactions ranged from amusing to heartwarming, with Sheldon even becoming a little more introspective around her. It was clear there was an underlying emotional connection brewing, and it seemed like young Sheldon was on the verge of exploring what might come next. By the time the show reached Season 5, the tension between Sheldon and Paige had escalated to a point where fans were practically salivating over the possibility of a romantic arc. In the Season 5 finale, the two shared a deeply emotional moment. Paige confessed that she had feelings for Sheldon, and it looked like the two were about to take their relationship to a new level. The build-up had been perfect. The awkwardness, the vulnerability, the undeniable connection between two incredibly intelligent, emotionally complex individuals. Sheldon, being the character we know him to be, was unsure how to react. He's never been the most socially adept person, and his tendency to overthink and analyze emotions made this particular situation even more complicated. The season finale ended with a cliffhanger. Paige and Sheldon shared a moment of silence, and then the episode cut to black. It was an agonizing moment for fans who had invested so much in their potential relationship. And then, as Season 6 rolled around, fans were left in disbelief. The big question, the one that had been hanging in the air for an entire season, wasn't addressed at all. Young Sheldon completely ignored the cliffhanger involving Paige and Sheldon's relationship, opting instead to focus on different storylines that didn't even remotely touch upon what fans were so like Paige vanished entirely from the show. She returned in a few episodes, but her relationship with Sheldon was barely acknowledged. The potential for their emotional connection to deepen was sidelined, and viewers were left to wonder if the show was simply going to pretend like the cliffhanger never happened. And unfortunately, that's exactly what it did. The absence of any resolution was frustrating for longtime fans who had invested in the storyline. They felt betrayed, as though the show had spent so much time building up the possibility of something deeper between Sheldon and Paige, only to leave it hanging with no real payoff. Fans had theories, expectations, and hopes about how the plot would unfold, but young Sheldon failed to deliver on any of them. Naturally, fans were not happy. Social media erupted with complaints, memes, and frustrated posts as viewers aired their grievances about the show's refusal to address such an important narrative thread. Many fans took to Twitter, Reddit, and other platforms to express their disappointment, with some feeling outright angry that young Sheldon would tease such an important moment and then completely abandon it. One fan wrote, "The Paige/Sheldon cliffhanger was the moment I was waiting for. It was an emotional turning point, and to see it completely ignored in the next season is just lazy writing." Another added, "Why even bother setting up that storyline if you're not going to follow through? I feel like we got emotionally manipulated into caring about Paige and Sheldon, and now it's just gone." The big question now is whether young Sheldon will ever address the relationship between Paige and Sheldon, or if fans have to accept that it was a plotline that was never meant to be. Many viewers hold out hope that the show might return to the story at some point, perhaps in future seasons. After all, the chemistry between Sheldon and Paige is too strong to completely ignore. Some fans even speculated that the show might be saving this emotional arc for a future season finale, perhaps using it as a way to wrap up Sheldon's character development as a whole. Others, however, are starting to come to terms with the possibility that this storyline is officially dead. With young Sheldon already deviating from the established timeline of The Big Bang Theory, it seems unlikely that the show would go back to explore this particular arc. After all, Sheldon's eventual relationship with Amy Farrah Fowler is an integral part of his story, and the writers may want to keep things in line with that future path. Beyond the disappointment of the Paige/Sheldon cliffhanger, there's a bigger issue at play. Young Sheldon has repeatedly missed the chance to dive into emotionally complex storylines and relationships. Over the seasons, the show has often played it safe, opting for more lighthearted humor and family-friendly plots instead of tackling more mature, layered subjects like Sheldon's evolving emotional intelligence or his romantic development with Paige. In fact, fans have pointed out that young Sheldon could have been a brilliant platform for exploring Sheldon's relationships with peers like Paige and other characters in a deeper way. Instead, the show often shies away from truly fleshing out Sheldon's emotional growth, especially when it comes to romantic feelings. Paige was the perfect character to push Sheldon in this direction, and by not exploring that relationship, the writers missed out on a great opportunity for character development. In the end, young Sheldon has left fans with more questions than answers regarding Sheldon and Paige's relationship. The cliffhanger was meant to be an exciting moment that would set up an intriguing story arc, but instead, it was dropped without explanation or resolution. Fans feel like they were promised something significant, only to be left hanging with no closure. Will Sheldon and Paige ever explore their relationship in a meaningful way? It's unclear, but one thing is certain: the show has a lot of explaining to do. If young Sheldon hopes to keep its audience engaged and satisfied, it will need to start addressing these unresolved plotlines and give fans the answers they've been waiting for. As of now, young Sheldon stands as a reminder that cliffhangers can be both thrilling and infuriating, especially when they're ignored. Only time will tell if Sheldon and Paige's story will ever get the resolution it deserves. Fans are waiting, and they're not holding back their frustration. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.